Jeff, the host of the Gridiron.
Fourth and goal to go with the 2. 34 seconds left to go in the ball game. This is the play right now. Takes the snap. Targeted goes in. Targeted all alone. And the quarterback keeps. Wow, what a call. Nobody touched him.
All right. Now, Cam, get some love. Right? Mr. Skattebo is getting some love from ESPN, which is nice, because Giants don't always get a lot of love. Yeah, rightfully so. When you only win 3 games, when you're 3-14, you don't necessarily get a lot of love, right? But ESPN, some solid numbers from Cam. Now let's not forget, right? We're not asking him to step in. Well, he's running back number 1. He's going to get 80% of the carries now. We'll have to wait and see. Now, you don't know. Let's not hope not. But if something would happen to Tracy, say he gets injured or something, well, maybe Cam winds up being running back number 1. Maybe he winds up getting the lion's share of the carries. We'll have to wait and see. But ESPN, I think if I remember correctly, has him at about 900 yards once again projected, right? But not too shabby, right? So ESPN projects solid production from Cam Skattebo in 2025. Giants felt that they had fallen into some luck when Arizona State running back Cam Skattebo was available to them in the 4th round. Skattebo garnered national attention as a senior in 2024, rushing for an ASU record 1,711 yards to go along with 605 receiving yards and 24 combined touchdowns. So we got over 2,300 yards. But as I said, I'm not saying he's Jerry Rice. I'm not saying, but he can contribute in the running game. In the passing game and the running game too. Obviously, he became the first Sun Devils player to eclipse 2,000 yards from scrimmage. He finished 2nd in the FBS in rushing and finished 5th in the Heisman voting. Very effective. Very, very, very good. Now, see, the things like with him and Genty, right, is that Genty can take it all the way. Skattebo, he doesn't quite have that breakaway speed. Had he had that breakaway speed, right, he wouldn't have lasted to the 4th round. That's for darn sure. One of our favorite players in the draft, just the way he plays, the mentality he plays with, the toughness, the competitiveness, the grit, General Manager Joe Schoen said after drafting Cam. Good hands out of the backfield as well. Now he does need to show that he can pick up the blitz and, pass protect. That's huge because you're a huge liability if you can't pass protect. But he's just a darn good football player, so we were excited to get him. And, to be honest with you, the fan base is pretty excited too. Obviously, that doesn't mean that he's going to be a 1,000-yard rusher every year, not like that. But, the fan base seems very, very excited to have him. But where does Skattebo fit in? Currently, the Giants' backfield consists of Tyrone Tracy Jr., Devin Singletary, Eric Wright, and Dante Turbo Miller. And fellow rookie Rashawn Baker, too. Don't forget about him. Given Cam's style of play and obvious value, it's hard to imagine he doesn't see significant snaps as a rookie. However, it will likely come as part of a committee, which is precisely what ESPN analyst Mike Clay anticipates. That makes all the sense in the world to me. Absolutely. He's one of the oldest running backs in the class at 23. But that's not enough to offset his elite efficiency during 2 seasons at Arizona State. Skattebo's 110 forced missed tackles were second to Genty in the FBS last season, and his 15% target share and 11.1 yards per target were the draft class's best in the pass game. Skattebo is not super fast, which obviously, what they said is that, if he was faster, there's no way he was going to the 4th round. He probably would have been a 2nd round pick. Skattebo is not so, but he's 5'11", 200, but he's not real tall either, but 215 pounds is very solid. Now, you start putting some meat on him, too. You get him up around 220, 225. Whew. He's going to be strong and very tough to bring down. His 3-down skill set supplies him with a solid long-term outlook. However, his short-term numbers will likely be limited because of Tyrone Tracy Jr. What is Clay's ideal of limited production in the grand scheme of things? Not all that, which is not all that limited. So what they have here for him, okay, is, he gets 160 carries, which is, it's almost 10 carries a game, which would be pretty darn impressive, right? 691 yards. What is that? 1632. So a little over 4 yards a carry, right? So 1632, 64, and 5. So I don't know. What is that? 4.3 yards a carry, somewhere around there. Not too shabby. 4 rushing touchdowns, 29 receptions, 213 yards, and another touchdown. So basically, ESPN just predicts he'll have a total of 5 touchdowns, and he'll have over 900 yards combined. As where last year, remember, Tracy had over 1,000 yards combined. But the one thing that's going to bring, Cam, his numbers down a little bit is that, that's where Tracy stepped into the starting role last year. I'm not sure if Cam's, hey, anything's possible. You don't know, but you don't know if Cam is going to step into the starting role, right? Like Tracy did last season. If he steps into the starting role, obviously he'll get more carries and he'll have a chance at just what ESPN is predicting. That's all, to get 1,000 yards. Once again, be very, very impressive. A 904-yard, 5-touchdown season is what amounts to a backup role would be a significant boost for the Giants. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, a backup running back at 691 yards rushing, that wouldn't be too bad at all. I mean, because you figure, right, I'm just saying, if we keep Motor Singletary, right, if we get almost 700 yards rushing from Cam, and we got Tyrone Tracy Jr., if he's our leading running back and he gets 900 yards. And then if you have Motor Singletary, right, if he makes the team and all that stuff, maybe he gets a few hundred yards rushing. No, that wouldn't be too bad at all. Let's see. So a 904-yard season, in that scenario, you have to assume Tracy remains healthy and eclipses the 1,000-yard mark, giving the team 2,000-yard plus production from their top 2 backs, which would be very impressive. Very, very impressive. So you can't argue about that one bit. One bit. That would not be bad at all, right? Because obviously it's not the way it used to be. We have a halfback and a fullback in there. We got 2 guys in the backfield all the time. It's running back by committee, right? Now, of course, obviously a lot of it, it's the theory of relativity. Everything's relative. If you can keep the ball, right, you move the ball up and down the field, everybody gets more rushes. Everybody gets more pass receptions. The wide receivers, they get more targets, more receptions, more yards. We score more touchdowns. But the longer you're on the field, the more chances you have of actually running the ball. Now, when the Giants are scoring 15 points a game, obviously we're not on the field, that much. So obviously everybody's production comes down. But if we can actually get a season where we score some points and move the ball, gain some yards, everybody's numbers go up. So, but of course, according to ESPN, they get almost 700 yards rushing from Cam. Would be pretty darn impressive. Especially because he's not the number 1 guy. Not bad at all.